Well, all right. This is my plan here for my impeller housing and the duct work and all that's going to blow into the trailer. Okay, and here's some of the tools I used to figure this out. You know, a long ruler, protractor, my center punch, well, actually my smaller compass that's in the house, my bigger compass here that's just hastily made for this project because I broke my other one, vernier calipers, and you know, various, you know, that's about it. But anyway, all I did, I started in the center. Okay, in the center, that's where my shaft comes, my motor shaft comes out. The motor shaft is a 3/4 diameter, so I went 1.25 inch hole around this. That'll give me, you know, about a 1/4 inch all the way around the shaft in case something wants to get in the way. This circle here represents my bolt pattern. It's my bolt pattern for my motor. Now, a couple of ways you can figure this. You can look in your instructions and or your operator's manual, and it should tell you what the bolt pattern is. Okay, this is 3.625 inch. That's the circle, and these are on 45 degrees off horizontal. So you can do it that way, or you can take your vernier calipers. You can take your vernier calipers and go and measure the centers of the holes, and that's actually what I did earlier. You know, you take your vernier calipers, you measure from this hole, you know, down to the center of this hole, center to center, and that gave me 3 5/8. So that's what size circle I drew there. So that gave me this circle right here. Now I don't want it sitting flat. I don't want this sitting horizontal. I want it tilted about 30 degrees. So I used my protractor and I tilted it 30 degrees, made a mark, came up here, and then that's how I got all my marks for my bolts. So this thing will be canted down forward toward my deck on my lawnmower. So it'll be canted down, you know, this direction here, kind of like that. So, and it'll also be canted to throw the debris or the grass and the leaves into my trailer, which is going to be 2 feet taller with a cage on it. Okay. Now this outer circle, it represents my impeller, the size of my impeller. Okay, so I went 1 inch on the outside of that. I'm going to allow 1 inch clearance for my impeller. Now, also up here is going to be like a kind of a stripping edge. There'll be a piece of steel in here so as anything comes around this thing, it's just automatically going to go right on out. Okay, so my hose is an 8-inch hose, but I'm going to use a 6-inch intake here. This is 6 inches, and it'll be 6 inches tall. So it'll be a 6-inch square all the way through. I've got a 2-inch flange here that I'm going to try to make a fiberglass housing that will allow the hose to come in from one side, and then it'll attach to here on the other side. And this right here is very long. I know it won't be that long when I get done, but I didn't know exactly how long it needed to be. And now I've got a lot of drilling and a lot of plasma cutting to try to take care of this. So I'm going to go get my drill, and I'm going to drill all my holes first 3, 4. I'm going to drill those holes and cut this hole here in the very center with a hole saw. So, and once I get done with this, the outside of this will be used to mark the outside of my housing that'll eventually be mounted on here. It's going though. That's the way you do it. Alright, now I get the plasma cutter out and hopefully all those holes will line up. Alright, now I've just got to get these straight pieces cut and we'll see how this thing will fit on the motor. Starting to get heavy. Well, alright, let's see just how this is gonna go. I'll be doggone, it looks like the holes line up. About a 1/4 inch all the way around. Grab the bolts here. See how this is gonna. This will also tell me where to cut my muffler pipe. Impeller will go on top of that. This will be cut off like right about here. Yeah, I think we got this thing going our way. Get on there. There we go. Yep. Ah, woo, buddy. I think this is gonna work. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some 16 gauge to finish this out. That'll still give me a really strong housing, but not as heavy. It'll make this housing about half the weight, even with this big back plate on the back. Well, all right. I got my muffler fixed. You can kind of see here what I've done. I cut the little pipe. I cut the little pipe out of here that had the muffler sitting right here, and I grinded down this flange and this flange up here. Just grinded them down flat and put in a new pipe. This is a 3/4 inch plumbing pipe. Is all that is. Actually, the hole's bigger than what it was. I had to grind just to get my bolts back in. But yeah, it's gonna work real good. Then I decided I was gonna go ahead and start trying to finish up this housing and figure out where to cut this and everything else. And you can see here, I just put my level against the edge of this and brought it straight up and got my line here. Okay. Then I took a tape measure, measured up, and that's my 2 foot mark. That's the height of my little cage back here, or my basket, or whatever you want to call it. But so this is my 24-inch mark. I actually thought it would be up here somewhere, but I was wrong. So this will have to be cut off here, and my usable space actually starts here at 23 inches because my cage has got a 1-inch frame, or it's going to have a 1-inch frame. So the grass can't blow in except from here down. So from here down to here is about 4 1/4 inches. So anyway, I drew my line straight out, just a perpendicular line, and took 6 inches down here, and that's a 6-inch opening. And so I'm going to have to put a piece of metal right in here to finish this up. I'm just gonna weld that up. I'll flip it over and weld the back side, and then hopefully I'll clean it up and we'll get it traced out. I've got my 16 gauge here, and I've got my back plate clamped down. I'm just going to use it as a template to mark these. To mark this one all the way around. A lot of work. What blooming cut, that's for sure. Well, alright. Well, I've got my first 6-inch piece here. And I've got it flushed up with the very end of the intake side of that back plate. Now, here I've drawn a square line at my bend. I'm going to score this line, and then this line here will flush up to that. I'm going to cut that off. So that's all I'm doing right now. I'm just going to score this one. So maybe I can get a bend in that. Just like that. That's the way you do it. Or that's the way I do it. Okay, so that's good. Tack it up. And we'll go again, right there, and then from there to there. So I'll cut this off, I'll score that so I can bend it, and then we're on our way to the next piece. Oh, thank goodness. That got it. Alright. So that looks okay. Now what I'm going to try to do is just bend it a little bit and tack it, and bend it a little bit and tack it until I get around here, and then I'll have to cut it off. We'll see just how that goes. I'm going to bend it a little bit, put my weight in it. Hey, look at there. It bent some. Okay, bend it a little bit more. Try to keep that steel up under that. That helps me. I hope I'm not welding it to the table. So very well could be. Okay, new plan. I'm going to fully weld these up, or at least stitch them on both sides. But for this opening, I'm going to cut a circle, a 14-inch circle out of it so that I can get that impeller in and out if I need to. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a flange on that circle, and I'm about to cut it out here. And all it is, it's going to be a 1-inch flange all the way around that circle will be welded to, and then I can bolt that into here. So anyway, that's the plan. And there's my flange. Alright, I got it. See, All right, that's gonna work great. Great, man, I love this. All right, and when I need to work on my impeller, I just take it off. There's my impeller, right? Will be right there. Well, all right. What I've done is I put I put this cap back on and tacked it down, and now I'm going to drill holes. I'm going to drill 8 holes all the way around. And what that's going to do is there's going to be nuts or washers, or there'll be a, well, I didn't want to put one up. I'm going to put in these 1/4 bolts in from the back and tack them in, and then I'll put this on, and there'll be a washer and a wing nut. It goes on the outside. All right, I think that'll work. Let's see how. There it is. Right there. All right, that's got them all in. I'm just going to go back and try to tack them. I hope I'll be able to tack them. If not, it'll be plan B. All right, we're just trying to tack these bolts into the little gap. So I put it on the top. And that's how I know when they're lined up. Oh. I could never get that lucky again in 1,000 years. All right, let's see about get on there. This way I'll be able to take this thing off anytime I need to. Kind of a screwed up wing nut right there, but that's okay. It went. It just don't spin down there like these others. I'm gonna tap through it and maybe fix that. All right, well, it's got it all welded up. I know, you know, they look like crap, but I'm gonna clean them up and you know, just make sure that make sure it looks nice. I'm not worried about it coming apart though. Guarantee you that. Three. Ooh, Lord, there's all 4 of them started now. Now that's good right there. All right, I cut this spacer from 3/4 inch. Let's see here. See if I can get you in there a little better. All right, now I cut this spacer from 3/4 inch plumbing pipe, and it goes in there against the motor, or up against that little flange right there. So as it's spinning, it's not actually spinning on the motor, it's only spinning on that shaft. All right, key. Q-stock right there. Okay. Pillar. Right in there. Let's see if we can get it lined up on that shaft. There we go. Alright. I'm gonna bolt and washer to secure that out here, along with the set screws. Okay, it's bolted on properly. Alright, let's give it a try. Alright, let's see how it does.